Chapter 84. Exaltation of Modesty. Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, Messenger of Allah passed by a man of the Ansar, who was admonishing his brother regarding shyness. Messenger of Allah said, "Leave him alone, for modesty is a part of Iman." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Imran bin Hussein, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, Messenger of Allah said, "Shyness does not bring anything except good." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. In a narration of Muslim, Messenger of Allah said, "All of shyness is good." Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, Iman has 60-odd or 70-odd branches. The uppermost of all these is the testimony of faith. La ilaha illallah. There is no true God except Allah, while the least of them is the removal of harmful object from the road, and shyness is a branch of Iman. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah was even shyer than a virgin behind her veil. When he saw something which he disliked, we could perceive it on his face. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 85. Secrecy of Private Matters. Guarding Secrets. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, the most evil of the people to Allah on the day of resurrection will be the man who consorts with his wife and then publicizes her secret. Muslim. Abdullah bin Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, my father, Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, said, when his daughter, Hafsa, may Allah be pleased with her, became a widow, I met Uthman bin Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, and offered Hafsa for marriage to him. Uthman said, I shall think over the matter. I waited for a few days, and then Uthman met me and said, it occurred to me that I should not marry at present. Then I met Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, and said to him, if you are willing, I shall marry my daughter Hafsa to you. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, remained silent and did not utter any word to me in reply. I grew more angry with him than with Uthman. I had waited for only a few days when Messenger of Allah asked for her hand in marriage, and I married her to him. Thereafter, I met Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, who said, perhaps you were angry with me when you offered Hafsa to me, and I said, nothing in reply. I said, yes, that is so. He said, nothing stopped me to respond to your offer, except that I knew that Messenger of Allah had mentioned her, and I could not disclose the secret of Messenger of Allah. Had Messenger of Allah left her, I would have accepted her. Al-Bukhari. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, reported, on one occasion, all the wives of the Prophet were with him when his daughter, Fatima, may Allah be pleased with her, who walked after the style of her father, came there. He welcomed her, saying, "Welcome, O my daughter," and made her sit on his right side or on his left side, and then whispered something to her, at which she wept bitterly. When he perceived her grief, he talked secretly to her again, and she smiled with happiness. I said to her, "Messenger of Allah chose you from amongst all his wives to speak secretly to you, and yet you cried." When he left, I asked her, "What did Messenger of Allah say to you?" She said, "I will not divulge the secret of Messenger of Allah." When Messenger of Allah passed away, I said to her, "I adjure you by the right I have in respect of you to tell me what Messenger of Allah had told you." She said, "Now, when Messenger of Allah has died, I will tell you. When he whispered to me the first time, he told me, Gabriel used to listen to my recitation of the Quran, and then recited back to me once or twice a year, and this time he has done it twice, and so I perceive that my death is approaching. Then be mindful of your duty to Allah, and be patient and steadfast, for I shall be an excellent predecessor for you." On this I wept, as you saw. When he perceived my distress, he talked to me secretly the second time, and said, "O Fatima, are you not pleased that you will be the chief among the believing women, or of this ummah?" This made me smile, as you saw. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Thabit, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "Messenger of Allah came to me while I was playing with the boys. He greeted us and sent me on an errand. This delayed my return to my mother. When I came to her, she asked, 'What detained you?' I said, 'Messenger of Allah sent me on an errand.' She asked, 'What was it?' I said, 'It is a secret.' My mother said, 'Do not disclose to anyone the secret of Messenger of Allah.' Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, said to Thabit, may Allah be pleased with him, 'By Allah, were I to tell it to anyone, I would have told you.'" Muslim. Chapter 86. Fulfillment of Promises. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, "3 are the signs of a hypocrite. When he speaks, he lies. When he makes a promise, he breaks it. And when he is trusted, he betrays his trust." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Another narration adds the words, "Even if he observes Saum, fasts, performs Salat, prayer, and claims to be a Muslim." Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah said, 4 are the qualities which, when found in a person, make him a sheer hypocrite, and one who possesses one of them possesses one characteristic of hypocrisy until he abandons it. These are, when he is entrusted with something, he betrays trust. When he speaks, He lies. When he promises, he acts treacherously. And when he argues, he behaves in a very imprudent, insulting manner. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Jaber, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said to me, when the revenues of Bahrain will arrive, I shall give you such and such and such. He passed away before the revenues were received. When they arrive during the caliphate of Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, he ordered to be announced, anyone whom Messenger of Allah promised or owed anything should come to him. I went to him and said, Messenger of Allah had said to me such and such. He took a double handful out of the money and gave it to me. I counted it and found that it was 500 dirham. Then Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, said to me, take twice as much more of that amount. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 87. Safeguarding and perpetuating good. Habits. Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said to me, O Abdullah, do not be like so-and-so. He used to get up at night for optional prayer, but abandoned it later. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 88. Excellence of meeting with a smiling countenance and politeness in speech. Adi bin Hatim, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah, Simlam, said, guard yourselves against the fire of hell, even if it be only with half a date fruit, given in charity, and, if you cannot afford even that, you should at least say a good word. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said, it is also charity to utter a good word. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. It is part of a narration that has preceded in its entirety. Abu Dar, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, do not disdain a good deed, no matter how small it may seem, even if it is your meeting with your Muslim brother with a cheerful face. Muslim. Chapter 89. Clarity of discourse. Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, whenever the Prophet said something, he would repeat his words thrice, so that the meanings would be understood fully. And whenever he came upon a group of people, he would greet them, and he would repeat salutation thrice. Al-Bukhari. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, reported, the speech of Messenger of Allah was so clear that all those who listened to it would understand it. Abu Dawud. Chapter 90. Listening attentively. Jarir bin Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah asked me on the occasion of the farewell pilgrimage to tell the people to keep silent. Then he said, do not revert to disbelief after me, chopping the heads of one another. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 91. Brevity in preaching. Shaqiq bin Salama reported, Ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, used to preach to us. Once every Thursday, a man said to him, "O Abu Abdurrahman, we love your talk, and we wish that you preach us every day." He said, "There is nothing to prevent me from doing so, but I don't. Lest I bore you, I follow the same method in preaching to you that Messenger of Allah adopted in preaching to us, for fear of boredom." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Ammar bin Yasir, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, "I heard Messenger of Allah saying, prolonging salat, prayer, and shortening the khutbah, religious talk, indicate the religious knowledge of the person. Make your salat long and your sermon short." Muslim. Muawiyah bin al-Hakam as-Sulami, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "While I was in salat with Messenger of Allah, a man in the congregation sneezed, and I responded with, 'Yarhamuk Allah, Allah, have mercy on you.' The people stared at me with disapproving looks. So I said, 'May my mother lose me. Why are you staring at me?' Thereupon, they began to strike their thighs with their hands. When I saw them urging to me to remain silent, I became angry, but restrained myself. When Messenger of Allah concluded his salat, I have never before seen an instructor who gave better instruction than he. May my father and mother be sacrificed for him. He neither remonstrated me, nor beat me, nor abused me. He simply said, 'It is not permissible to talk during salat, because it consists of glorifying Allah, declaring His greatness, as well as recitation of the Quran,' or he said words to that effect. I said, 'O Allah's Messenger, I have but recently accepted Islam, and Allah has favored us with Islam. There are still some people among us who go to consult soothsayers.' He said, 'Do not consult them.' Then I said, 'There are some of us who are guided by omens.' He said, 'These things which come to their minds, they should not be influenced by them." Muslim. Irbad bin Sariyah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "One day, Messenger of Allah delivered a very effective speech. As a result, eyes shed tears, and hearts became softened. A man said, 'O Prophet of Allah, it sounds as if this is a farewell speech, so advise us.' He said, 'I admonish you to fear Allah, and to listen and obey, even if a black slave has been appointed as your leader. For whoever among you lives after me will see much discord. So, hold fast to my sunnah, and the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs who will come after me. Adhere to them and hold fast to them. Beware of bid'ah in religion, because every bid'ah is a misguidance." At-Tirmidhi. Chapter 92. Dignity and Tranquility. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "I have never seen Messenger of Allah laughing so heartily that his uvula could be seen. He used to smile only. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 93. Excellence of walking solemnly towards the mosque, to perform as-Salat, the prayer, and other religious duties. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard the Messenger of Allah saying, when the Iqamah are pronounced, do not come to it running. You should walk calmly, with tranquility, to join the congregation. Then, join in what you catch for and complete what you miss. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. In Muslim, it is added, Messenger of Allah said, for when one of you is walking for Salat, he is, in fact, engaged in Salat. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, I accompanied the Prophet while we were returning from Arafat. Messenger of Allah heard behind him a loud noise of beating and of driving the camels forcibly. He pointed towards it with his whip and said, O people, proceed calmly. No virtue lies in rushing. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Chapter 94. Honoring the guest. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said, he who believes in Allah and the Last Day, let him show hospitality to his guest. And he who believes in Allah and the Last Day, let him maintain good relation with kins. And he who believes in Allah and the Last Day, let him speak good or remain silent. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Shuraya Kuwailid bin Amr al-Khuzai, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard Messenger of Allah saying, he who believes in Allah and the Last Day should accommodate his guest according to his right. He was asked, what is his right, O Messenger of Allah? He replied, it is to accommodate him for a day and a night, and hospitality extends for 3 days, and what is beyond that is charity. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. In Muslim, it is added, Messenger of Allah said, it is not permissible for a Muslim to stay so long with his brother till he makes him sinful. He was asked, O Messenger of Allah, how can he make him sinful? He replied, he prolongs his stay with him till nothing is left with the host to entertain him, guest. Chapter 95. Excellence of conveying glad tidings and congratulations. Abdullah bin Abu Afa, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah gave glad tidings to Khadijah, may Allah be pleased with her, about a palace of hollowed pearls in Jannah, free from noise and toil. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, one day I performed my wudu in my house and then set forth, with the determination that I would stick to Messenger of Allah and spend the whole day with him. I came to the mosque and asked about him. The companions told that he had gone in a certain direction. Abu Musa added, I followed him inquiring until I came to Bir Aris, a well in the suburb of Al-Madinah. There I sat down at the door till he had relieved himself and performed wudu. Then I went to him and saw him sitting on the platform of the well, with his shanks uncovered and his legs dangling in the well. I greeted him and returned to the door of the garden, saying to myself, I will be the doorkeeper of the Messenger of Allah today. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, came and knocked at the door. I said, Who is that? He said, Abu Bakr. I said, Wait a moment. Then I went to the Messenger of Allah and said, O Messenger of Allah, Abu Bakr is at the door seeking permission to enter. He said, Admit him and give him the glad tidings of Jannah. I returned and said to Abu Bakr, May Allah be pleased with him. You may enter, and Messenger of Allah has given you the glad tidings of entering Jannah. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, came in and sat down on the right side of Messenger of Allah, and suspended his legs into the well and uncovered his shanks, as the Messenger of Allah had done. I returned to the door and sat down. I had left my brother at home while he was performing wudu and, intending to join me, I said to myself, if Allah intends good for him, i.e., to be blessed to come at this time and receive the glad tidings of entering Jannah, he will bring him here. Someone knocked at the door, and I said, Who is it? He said, Umar bin al-Khattab. I said, Wait a moment. Then I proceeded towards Messenger of Allah. I greeted him and said, Umar is at the door, seeking permission to enter. He said, Let him in, and give him the glad tidings of entering Jannah. I went back to Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, and said to him, Messenger of Allah has given you permission, as well as glad tidings of entering Jannah. He entered and sat down with Messenger of Allah on his left side, and dangled his feet into the well. I returned to the door and sat down and said to myself, if Allah intends good for my brother, he will bring him here. Someone knocked at the door, and I said, Who is it? He said, Uthman bin Affan. I said, Wait a moment. I went to Messenger of Allah and informed him about his arrival. He said, Let him in and give him glad tidings of entering Jannah, together with a tribulation which he will have to face. I came back to him and said, You may enter, and Messenger of Allah gives you the glad tidings of entering Jannah, together with a tribulation that will afflict you. He got in and saw that the elevated platform round the well was fully occupied. So he sat on opposite side. Sa'id bin al-Musayyab, may Allah be pleased with him, a sub-narrator has reported, the order in which they sat down indicated the places of their burial. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Another narration adds, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, may Allah be pleased with him, said, The Prophet ordered me to guard the door. When Uthman was told about the misfortune, he praised Allah, then said, Allahu musta'an. His help is to be sought. The interpretation of Sa'id bin al-Musayyab is that the graves of Abu Bakr and Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, are by the side of the Prophet in the same position they took when they sat next to the Prophet, while the grave of Uthman is away from their graves. In the public graveyard of Al-Madinah, known as Baqi al-Gharqad, Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, we were sitting in the company of the Messenger of Allah, and Abu Bakr and Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, were also present. All of a sudden, the Messenger of Allah got up and left us. When he was late to return to us, we began to worry lest he should meet with trouble in our absence. I was the first to be alarmed, and set out in search of him, until I came to a garden belonging to Banu Najjar, a section of the Ansar. I went round it, looking for an entrance, but failed to find one. However, I saw a stream of water flowing into the garden from a well outside. I drew myself together like a fox and slinked into the place and reached the Messenger of Allah. He said, Is it Abu Huraira? I replied in the affirmative. He asked, What is the matter with you? I replied, You were sitting with us, and then you left us, and delayed for a time. Fearing you had met with some adversities, we got alarmed. I was the first to be alarmed. So, when I came to this garden, I squeezed myself like a fox, and these people are coming behind me. He, the Prophet, gave me his sandals and said, O Abu Huraira, take these sandals of mine, and whoever you meet outside this garden, testifying that La ilaha illallah, there is no true God except Allah, being assured of it in his heart, give him the glad tidings that he will enter Jannah. Abu Huraira then narrated the hadith in full. Muslim. Ibn Shumasa reported, We visited Amr bin al-As, may Allah be pleased with him, when he was in his deathbed. He wept for a long time and turned his face towards the wall. His son said, O father, did not the Messenger of Allah give you the good news of such and such? Did he not give you glad tidings of such and such? Then he, Amr, turned his face towards us and said, The best thing which you can count upon is the affirmation that La ilaha illallah, there is no true God except Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I have passed through 3 phases. I remember when I hated none more than I hated the messenger of Allah, and there was no other desire stronger in me than that of killing him. Had the first died in that state, I would have definitely been one of the dwellers of fire. Hell. When Allah instilled the love for Islam in my heart, I went to Messenger of Allah and said, Extend your right hand so that I pledge allegiance to you. He stretched out his right hand, but I withdrew my hand. He said, "What is the matter, Amra?" I said, "I wish to lay down same conditions." He asked, "What conditions do you wish to put forward?" I replied, "To be granted forgiveness." He said, "Do you not know that embracing Islam wipes out all that has gone before it? Previous misdeeds? Verily, emigration wipes out all the previous sins, and the Hajj, pilgrimage, wipes out all the previous sins. Thereafter, no one was dearer to me than Messenger of Allah, and none was more respectable than him in my eyes. So bright was his splendor that I could not gather enough courage to look at his face for any length of time. If I were asked to describe his feature, I would not be able to do so, because I have never caught a full glimpse of his face. Had I died in that state, one could have hoped to be one of the dwellers of Jannah. Thereafter, we were made responsible for many things, and in the light of which I am unable to know what is in store for me. When I die, no mourner nor fire should accompany my bier. When you bury me, throw the earth gently over me, and stand over my grave for the space of time within which a camel is slaughtered and its meat is distributed, so that I may enjoy your intimacy and in your presence ascertain what answer can I give to the messengers of my Rabb, the angels in grave. Muslim.